Coppinger gets very good yards. I mean, Coppinger's going to be a high-level, next-level college football player. Already preferred walk-on offer to Illinois. Very intelligent. Cornell's after him. He's got Central Missouri's after him. He's going to play at a high level, and we're seeing him touch the ball early twice tonight and get positive yardage both times he touched it.
2nd and 5, Hansen drops back out of the gun, through to the right, one to the left. Snap back, gives to Hayden Ryan straight up the middle. This time, nowhere to go. Good close by the outside backer, Finn Cusick, and it's going to be the first 3rd down faced by this Rockhurst offense.
Well, it's set up by Justice Betts, the guy that was the 4A finalist for 4A Defensive Player of the Year last year. He was right in that backfield, right out of the gate, Tim. And yeah, you're right, Finn Cusick mopped things up, and here we are, 3rd and intermediate. The whole playbook's open if you're Rockhurst because you can do things, either throw it or run it effectively so far.
7:40 to go, opening quarter. 3rd and 4. Hansen turns, tosses to Ryan, running left side. He is going to get stopped at the 39-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, Baker North, the 2 offensive tackle, comes in and plays a little defensive tackle at nose guard, and he pushed the line back and only able to get 2 yards. And Kelly Donahoe's got a decision to make here, 4th and 2. No indication at all that he's going to punt it, and the offense stays on the field. So maybe a big momentum swing play right here out of the gate.
Yeah, 0 hesitation by Kelly Donahoe. And Ethan Hansen will go out of the gun on a 4th and 2 play from the Miege 39. Ryan the deep back to his left. Option play. Hansen is going to keep it. Fall forward right at the sticks. It looks like Hansen has just enough.
Nothing fancy about that. Just go get the first down.
If you're joining us late, Rockhurst went nearly 75 yards in less than a minute and 20 seconds. Chunk plays on the ground in a 32-yard play action dime from Ethan Hansen to Mason Tunley for the first score of the game. Miege goes 3 and out. Now Rockhurst, 2nd drive. Hansen, shotgun snap, rolling right. Looking for his tailback in the flat. He's got him. Breaking 1 tackle at the 35. Cuts back near the 30. Spins forward, charging out near the 28-yard line. About 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Like the confidence in your quarterback to pass the ball on first down and get a little play action, and it works effectively. Ethan Hansen's rolling right now.
6 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Again, 7-0 Hawklets in front of a packed house here at Rockhurst High School. Out of the gun, empty backfield. Hansen looking right. He is going to lob one into the end zone. Leaping catch, incomplete. He was looking for Miles Carson, who couldn't bring it in, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Naeem Coppage locked in his hip pocket and made the pass break up just at the last second. That looked like that was going to be a touchdown. Hansen put that one right in the money, Tim. But see, that play was set up because you had an effective first down play. You can go throw it long because you now have only 3rd and 2 to come back and work with.
Ethan Hansen 2 for 3 throwing the football in this first quarter. Most of the offense has been on the ground, but it's been smooth sailing for the Hawklets. 3rd and 2. Ryan behind left guard, bouncing off a tackler with a stiff arm. He's got a first down as he's ripped down near the 22-yard line in the open field by Jack Baird.
Yeah, Trey Gano, the right guard, pulled and opened up a nice hole. See why Colorado Mines and Benedictine have offered him already. He opened up a tremendous hole.
They mark the Hawklets at the Miege 23-yard line.
Well, this has just been impressive by the Hawklets to start out, Tim.
Carson will line up wide to the right side. 3 receivers to the short side of the field out here to the left. Off the near hash. Hansen will give to Ryan. No, he's going to keep it on the option near sideline 15. He's ushered out of bounds right there. Again, a pickup of about 7 yards on first down, and that has been a springboard for this offense. They have not faced more than 5 yards to go on any second down play tonight.
Well, you win first down, it makes everything else so much easier, so much effective, and this has just been pretty. play calling has just been outstanding, diverse, physical, confident so far from the Hawklets.
3 right, 1 left. Give straight up the middle, breaking 1 tackle and sliding down near the 9-yard line is the backup tailback, Van Pham, 6 foot, 205-pound junior. It's going to be 1st and goal, Rockhurst.
Now, if you're Miege, you've bent, but you got to find a way to not break here. A field goal would be a huge victory for the Stags. Don't want to go down 14-0 on the road.
This Rockhurst defense has only given up 16 points a ball game, but they're in trouble of being down 2 touchdowns early. 1st and goal from the 9. Coppinger straight up the middle, inside the 5. It opens up as he strides into the end zone untouched. 13-0 Hawklets.
Just outstanding blocking by this entire offensive line. He wasn't touched him. There was not a single person near him until he handed the ball to the referee in the end zone. Gotta love what you see from this offensive line. It has taken over this game.
The Red Sea parted for Tommy Coppinger. Doesn't get that much running room, just running sprints out here on his own. As that was the easiest touchdown he's going to get. Extra points tacked up and through. Rockhurst is already up 2 scores on Sports Radio 810.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves.
0 Rockhurst, 4:25 to go, opening quarter on Sports Radio 810. They have had no resistance at all moving the football. They have faced 1 4th down. That was on that last drive. A 4th and 2, they converted it. But little resistance other than that. And Miege has dug themselves an early hole on the road. Jackson and Lynch back deep, and another high pooch kick. Far side, fair caught and made at the 31-yard line. He was contacted right in front of John Holmes. And no flag comes out. It wasn't much contact, but it was contact regardless. Holmes wanted the flag. He doesn't get it.
Well, if you're Miege now, you've got to find a way to at least give your defense a breather, Tim. I mean, your defense has been out on the field the entire first quarter, so you need to get something going. You need Rodriguez to pick up some first downs here just to keep get your defense a chance to rest.
They went 3 and out on their last drive, and now Rodriguez lines up 3 receivers into formation, and whistles blow this one dead. A pre-snap penalty coming, I believe, against Miege. Yeah, and it's going to be a false start, and that's not something we see a lot out of John Holmes' coach teams. He mentioned nerves may be an issue tonight. Obviously, the most electric atmosphere Miege has played in front of, and he's got a quarterback on a very big stage who's in a 14-0 hole now. 3 receivers to his right on a 1st and 15. Claps his hands, gives to Garcia straight up the middle. Through a small hole, he fights out near the 32-yard line, gets some of that penalty yardage back.
Well, and he thought that if you were looking at this matchup, where Bishop Miege had an advantage over Rockhurst, you would say up front, because the Stags have 3 offensive linemen that already have college-level offers, so maybe you got to find a way to get your offensive line to exert some of their dominance,
Second and 11, they toss to Garcia, running left side, patient running. He skips out near the 36-yard line, going to set up a 3rd and about 7 play for Miege.
Yeah, this is Rockhurst. Interesting to see if they play coverage or do they bring some pressure on Rodriguez.
Coach Donahoe waving his arm, trying to get the student section involved on a third down play for the Stags. Snap back to Rodriguez, wants to go to the air. Pumping, holding on to it, rolling left. Now he's going to air one out deep down the sideline. Nobody home, incomplete. And Miege gets a late flag from the side judge. A very late flag.
Yep, the official that was right there did not call something. That was thrown, as you mentioned, Tim, by the side judge. He was standing right in front of John Holmes, and John Holmes sprinted 20 yards down the field to try to coax the penalty, and sure enough, it worked. Well, maybe they're going to call Holmes for being on the field. I don't know.
The signal was immediately pass interference. But yeah, they're also talking to John Holmes over there on the far sideline. They haven't started moving one way or the other yet.
All right,
and
I guess
they
did.
will.
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough call for Rockhurst because, the guy, the referee that was standing right there didn't make the call, Tim. It was the guy, 20 yards behind the play that made the call.
We may end up circling back to that pass interference call. And what would have been a fourth down for Miege, and they would have been punting for the second time in a row. Instead, into Rockhurst territory at the 48-yard line. Rodriguez, low snap, loading up, flag flies, flares it out to Garcia near side across the 45. He is gang tackled right there. Would be a gain of 3, but again, the flag flew right after the snap.
Yeah, Taron Jackson motioned from left to right, and he kind of got a head start. You can't do this. It's not Canadian football. So right in front of the side judge, and he threw the flag and pushed him back 5 yards.
Illegal motion makes it 1st and 15 now. Taron Jackson, speaking of, is the target in this passing attack. 17 catches, 260 yards through the air through the first 3 games to go along with 2 touchdowns. Rodriguez back on his own side of midfield after the penalty. He's going to give to Garcia straight up the middle, lowering the shoulder out to the 50-yard line. It's going to set up a 2nd and 12 play.
Just not a lot of running room so far tonight. Not a lot of running room. And that, to be honest, I thought that maybe, again, where Stags might have an advantage over Rockhurst, but credit this defensive side of the ball for the Hawklets so far. They've limited the rushing attack.
2:45 to go opening quarter. 14-0 Rockhurst leads. Miege went 3 and out on their opening drive. And now from midfield, they've got a 2nd and 12. Off the near hash. 3 left, 1 right for the junior quarterback Rodriguez. Snap back, looking left, loading up, stepping up in the pocket. Now he's going to zip one near side, diving catch made near the 36-yard line. Move the chains in the process. What a grab by Hollis Moeller.
Yeah, Hollis Moeller committed to Kansas as a long snapper. But how about Marco Rodriguez climbing the ladder, Tim, stepping into the throw and throwing a dart where only Moeller could go get the football.
They go quickly from the Rockhurst 36-yard line. Garcia bouncing it outside across the 30. Stutter step near the 25, and he's pushed out of bounds near the 23-yard line. That should move the chains again, and it will.
Well, you see some signs of life. You get a big first down conversion, and next play you're able to get a running play bust open for the first time tonight. And, sometimes it just takes a little bit to knock the dust off, get a big third down conversion to get rolling.
Miege goes quick. They mark Garcia out at the Rockhurst 21-yard line, just on the outside of the red zone. 2 left, 1 right. This offense starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. Rodriguez, snap back, gives to Garcia, straight up the middle, across the 15-yard line, lowers the shoulder inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for Miege.
Nice blocking up front again. Left guard pulls and opens up a huge hole. Jalen Wilson did a tremendous job there on the trap play.
Back to the line quickly. Out of the gun, Rodriguez gives to Garcia, patient running, sidesteps one. He is planted near the 8-yard line. Aiden Ryan in on the tackle.
That was the same exact play. This time it did not work as well. More bodies near the line of scrimmage to defend that play for the Hawklets.
2nd and goal now for Miege. This is the game where you feel like you got to have touchdowns down here. Already down 14-0, 1:30 to go opening quarter. Off the near hash, receivers bunch to the right side. Pitch play to Garcia running right. He is hammered at the line of scrimmage. Midge forms like a missile. runs through Garcia, and it's going to be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they tried the bunch formation. Lots of guys trying to block on the perimeter, and Mitch Schwartz said, forget that. I'm just going to cut up underneath the blocks, and huge hit in the backfield to set up this 3rd and 9 from the 9-yard line.
6'3", 230, hitting 5'9", 160 like a Mack truck. 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. 3 receivers to the left side. Shotgun snap, Rodriguez. Play fake, running right, throwing for the end zone, incomplete. He threw it behind his target, and Jeremy, it's a good thing he did because the safety flashed right in front of the tight end.
Yeah, it's an RPO, and Rodriguez thought about running. He might have been able to scoot into the corner of the end zone. Instead, tries to force it and thread the needle, but as you mentioned, Tim, very lucky that he was inaccurate, because if he's accurate, that might be an interception in the end zone and sets up a field goal attempt. That's a huge victory for the Rockhurst defense.
Field goal unit out there is a 26-yarder off the near hash that is pushed wide left. No good, and it remains a 14-0 ball game. And that has got to feel like a gut punch to John Holmes.
They've not faced a lot of adversity like this over the years. You know, Tim, I mean, this is something where Bishop Miege, they've lost some games in this era where they've won all these state championships, but they've not been pushed around like this. This is just impressive what we've seen from this Hawklet squad on both sides of the ball, too. Not just the offense, but their defense has played well tonight. You know, coming up big and stopping Miege in a goal line situation. You've showed some flash on offense. This has been about the most perfect first quarter that you could have scripted up for Kelly Donahoe's squad.
That first quarter has got 42 seconds remaining in it, and this is the 3rd drive for Rockhurst. Hansen motions his tailback out of the backfield. He is going to fire a screen, far side for Pham. Patient running, he's across the 22, and he's stood up right there. Short gain on the play. And that may be the final play of the opening quarter, depending on if Kelly Donahoe wants to step on the gas here. More than likely, he's going to take it to the end of the first quarter. But like you said, that is just about as good as you can write it up if you're Kelly Donahoe.
Man, we're now going to see how the Stags, do they have a response in the second quarter? Because it has been all Rockhurst, and to be able to do this in front of your home crowd, it's got to feel really good if you're a Hawklet.
Rockhurst had it twice in the opening quarter. Touchdowns both times. Miege has come up empty both times. We're at the end of one. Rockhurst has landed the first blow in the Catholic Clash, up 14-0. Stay with us on Sports Radio 810.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
14-0 after a quarter. Jeremy, the Hawklets making an early statement tonight.
Yeah, this is, we've done a lot of Rockhurst games over the years, Tim, but this might be the most explosive complete that we've seen them look. Granted, it's just a quarter. That's only 14-0, but that went about as well as it could have gone for Kelly Donahoe's squad, and they've not had this complete performance like what we've seen so far in a long time.
They're going to give to Aiden Ryan across the 25, tackled from behind near the 26 by Justice Betts, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 4 from the Rockhurst 26.
Yeah, only problem is, though, now you got to complete the game. You've been great this first quarter, first 12 minutes, but can you do it now for the rest of the game? Because we know John Holmes' squad, they're proud. They have championship expectations every single year. They're senior-led. They've been kicked in the mouth. How are they going to respond? But can you, on the rocker side of the thing, keep your foot on the gas?
Hansen climbs in under center out of the I formation. Changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Turns, gives to Coppinger, behind left guard, plows over a man. He is going to be stood up right at the sticks, and it's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah, way the side judge's walking in, it looks like he's going to be short. But now, boy, what do you do, Rockhurst? You're dominating the game. I mean, you go for it, right?
I think you give it to the same guy that just touched it. Tommy Coppinger got stood up short of the line to gain by about half a yard, but he still picked up 3 yards. They have not stopped Tommy Coppinger. They haven't even gotten a hand on him near the line of scrimmage every time he's touched it. 4th and less than a yard. Hansen turns, gives to Coppinger straight up the middle, dives across the 30, and he should have the first down.
That's actually a pretty patient run by Coppinger because the nose guard and defensive tackles kind of plugged up that dive initially, and Coppinger had to kind of be patient and then let the pile develop, and then he dove over the pile. That's a great play by your senior fullback.
Miege knew that was coming and couldn't do anything about it. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Rockhurst converts their second 4th down of this first half. Hansen turns, pitches to Ryan, who pitches back to Hansen, loading up, taking a shot deep down the middle of the field, intercepted! A diving pick by Christopher Anderson, and Miege has got another interception, their 8th of the year.
You're running the ball so effectively. You're pounding it at them. You're not been stopped at all on the running attack. Then you pull some razzle-dazzle up, and John Holmes has seen this before. His teams are so well prepared, and Christopher Anderson, he read it like a center fielder, came over and made the interception. Now, can they do something on offense to swing the momentum further back their direction? But, boy, mark that play down, Tim, because that could be a big one.
This is a secondary, you heard it right, that just picked off their 8th pass, and we're not even 3.5 games into the year for Miege. This is a ball-hawking secondary that made a big play just then. From the 38, they pitch to Garcia, cutting inside one, and then sandwich back at the 37-yard line, loss of a yard.
Oh, just nothing there once again. Gus Sorensen, the linebacker, just did a tremendous job not giving Garcia any room at all to cut to the outside. That play's supposed to get to the outside, but it wasn't there because of the linebackers flowing there. Aiden Ryan played two-way, also was right there. Just nice job by this linebacker level for the Hawklets.
If you're not familiar with this Miege team, they run it a lot this year. David Garcia is averaging 146 rush yards a game through the first 3 games, and so maybe a little bit more run-heavy than you would expect from Miege in years past. But again, breaking in a new starting quarterback this year. 2nd and 11, Rodriguez, snap back, has time, running out of it, over the middle. He's got Moeller at the 43, and he's dropped right there. Sets up a 3rd and 5 play.
That tremendous blocking up front. Your offensive line gave you protection. Now can they give you enough protection here to convert this first down?
9:10 to go till halftime. 14-0 Hawklets lead. But Miege just made a giant play, intercepting Ethan Hansen. And they want to keep the momentum in their corner, but first things first, you got to convert a 3rd and 5. 3 receivers in the formation. Slot man to the right side, Garcia to the left of his quarterback, Rodriguez. Snap back, play fake. Rodriguez stepping up in the pocket. He is going to get dropped from behind, lost the football, but it bounces right back into his arms at the 40-yard line.
Wow. Just outstanding job by this Rockhurst defense. Had a curveball thrown your way, sudden change, and then you force the 3 and out.
This Rockhurst defense not blinking. Just like last week when it seemed like Bentonville had him backed into a corner. Their defense came up with a late interception to step up the game-winning field goal. Ensuing punt is going to be fielded near the 25-yard line by Tunley. With a flag down, angling far side, he is going to get gang tackled near the 30-yard line. The flag lies in front of Kelly Donahoe's sideline at the 40-yard line.
Yeah. Well,
Which
Tim,
would probably indicate a block at the back.
yeah, there's some big games being played all over the metro area tonight. This is a big one. The other one is Mill Valley, Gardner Edgerton. How about this? Gardner Edgerton 14, Mill Valley 0 into the first quarter.
Me and Jonathan Pulasic were talking about that prior to the game, and that was obviously going to be a test for the defensive line of Mill Valley. Holding, by the way, is the call against Rockhurst, but with the way Gardner Edgerton plays, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball straight at you, and I don't know what the stats are or anything like that, but it would probably indicate that Gardner is having their way on the ground tonight against Milltown.
Yeah, so far you think that. Don't forget you can log on to 810varsity.com to get that score and actually watch a lot of games from all over the Kansas City metro area tonight.
So after the hold, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line, they give to Aiden Ryan, running left side, spun around to the backfield. He maybe lost a half yard, and that is the first negative play for Rockhurst on 1st down.
Yeah, actually set the edge there, did a nice job. That outside linebacker level, and yeah, like you said, that was like the first kind of negative play, and they still almost got it all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
As a matter of fact, their worst 1st down play was a gain of 3 on the last drive. So here, 2nd and 10. Officially no gain for Aiden Ryan. Miege obviously wants to get Rockhurst into passing situations. Whistle and Kelly Donahoe wants to talk about it. 7:19 to go, 2nd quarter.
Yeah, play clock was running low, Tim, and that's not a bad timeout.
But again, I think for Miege defensively, that's how you slow the momentum for Rockhurst, is if you can get them into those passing situations. And again, this is a secondary that is all over the place. They've got some phenomenal athletes in that secondary. I mentioned the 8 interceptions. But as long as this defense is preventing Rockhurst from staying out of the sticks, you feel like Miege can let their players sort of play, so to speak.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, if you could not give up the big yardage on 1st down, that means you can, not have to worry about calling situational defense. You can call some of your special defenses that you've been able to run here or scheme up all week long. But it all matters. 1st downs is where it matters most, and so far it's been Rockhurst. It's won almost every single 1st down other than that last play.
Pierce Fisher, the sophomore tailback, is in the ball game on this 2nd and 10 play. Hansen, snap back, is going to fake it to him. Roll to the right, in trouble. He is going to get decked as he floats this one out of bounds into the Rockhurst bench, and that nearly failed to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know if it did or not. I mean, yeah, and then obviously intentional grounding comes into play there because, yeah, he was throwing that to his girlfriend in the stands over there, and very lucky for Rockhurst that the officials deemed he got it close enough back to the line of scrimmage, and there was a receiver kind of in the vicinity, but yeah, they're great pressure up front from this Bishop Miege defense. That's really the first time we've kind of seen them get pressure up front. Jack Barrett, again, coming up from a safety spot to get in the face of Ethan Hansen.
And another timeout is taken by Kelly Donahoe. Play clock was getting low, but I think there's confusion getting some of these play calls in.
Oh, yeah, they ran multiple new guys on the field. A couple of guys didn't come off. It just did not look right from the beginning, and maybe kind of sensing the importance of this drive, Kelly Donahoe burns another timeout, so only one left the rest of the way in this first half.
Standing room only here at Rockhurst High School. They have packed it out around the fence to the end zone to our right. Obviously not a seat available.
Oh.
And it's something when they do pre-sales for high school football games, but that has been the case for the last 6 years. Every Rockhurst Miege game, we've come a little bit of a way since that first year back in 2018. Remember when they were supposedly $50 midfield?
No. If I recall, that game was played at Miege, right?
Yeah.
And there were people that were selling their backyards, which if you've never been to a Miege game before, there is a lot of residential areas back there, and people were selling their backyards for $8,000 if I remember the reports right.
3rd and 10 for Hansen and company out of the timeout. Play fake, rolling right, Hansen on the snap. He's got time, fires back across his body, incomplete. A great break on the football by Lamar Lynch, the corner, running step for step over the middle with Jack Pickelmeyer.
Hey, that's a great job by this Bishop Miege defense. They're starting to kind of feel a little more comfortable there, and it goes back to that first down, Tim. You don't get the big yardage on first down, then suddenly you're behind the sticks, and Bishop Miege is going to get the ball back and should get it in relatively good field position.
Again, I'll reiterate it. Miege has got some athletes in that secondary. That was an over route ran by Bickelmeyer. And the corner to the backside was step for step.
Oh, Lynch was
trailing.
right in his hip pocket.
A line drive kick is going to be picked up on a hop by Taron Jackson at the 40. And he sidesteps one out of bounds near the 43. And now a late flag flies near midfield.
You know, block in the back, maybe? If that's the case, and that's going to...
That would sting for Miege.
Yeah, finally get the ball. It's relatively good field position.
A block in the back. You heard it over the PA. 6:59 to go, second quarter.
Boy, I don't know what you dial up, Tim, off your Bishop Miege so far in offense. They've been relatively hit and miss. And Garcia's had a couple good runs, but not consistent. We've not gotten Taron Jackson involved in the passing attack. So very curious to see what adjustments have been made and what they can dial up on this drive, because you know you'd like to get something on the board before you go into halftime.
So the block of the back marks it back to the Miege 33-yard line. Two to the left side, Taron Jackson in the slot to the left. Garcia, the deep back, is going to get the give straight up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a yard.
Yeah, you're kind of hoping, John Holmes is hoping that his big offensive line could get a push there, and they just really didn't. They got 3 yards on the play, but you know you've got guys that are going to play at that next level. Multiple guys are going to play at that next level, kind of hoping they get a nice push there on first down, but they really did, and only gave him 2 on it.
6:35 to go, second quarter. 14-0 Rockhurst leads. 2nd and 8 for Miege near their own 36-yard line. Rockhurst showing blitz. Rodriguez, short drop. Fires left side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Hollis Moeller, who took a shot, and he's slow to get up at the 45.
That offensive line gave Rodriguez plenty of time. Problem is, Rockhurst did a great job in coverage, actually dropping guys back, and multiple players there in coverage and setting up a 3rd and long situation now again for Bishop Miege.
Moeller is really hobbled, as he is going to have to come off the field.
He's a key weapon for him. He's, you know, if you've watched Bishop Miege over the years, the tight end's kind of been their X factor. They've always had a great tight end over the years that would bail out the quarterback, kind of be the security blanket for the quarterback, and he's been that for them so far this season with 2 touchdown receptions. But you know, losing him is going to sting, and sensing the importance of this play, Bishop Miege does go ahead and call timeout.
Yeah, I was watching John Holmes there. Miege takes their first time out of the half. Moeller walked right over to the sideline. Holmes took that timeout and grabbed Moeller and brought him over to the huddle. Obviously, I don't think either of them think that injury is too serious, but I think he takes that timeout just so he can keep Moeller on the field. However, they will break out of that timeout without him.
Now this feels like a must-convert type of play for the Stags.
3 left, 1 right on a 3rd and 8 play for Marco Rodriguez in this offense for the Stags. Shotgun snap back, stepping up in the pocket, looking right. Now he's going to scramble that way. Needs a block, eyes downfield, fires to the sideline. Low catch, and it is incomplete. Howard Peoples trying to come back through the football, but that ball skips in.
I like the play by Rodriguez. I mean, he climbed the ladder again, found the open hole, and threw it to where only his receiver could do. Just did not get enough arm strength. Just tremendous coverage on the back end by the Hawklets. Just nobody was open again.
Punt unit out there. There is a flag down. And I think Marco Rodriguez was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that pass. And so a 5-yard penalty will keep the punt unit out there. But now Christopher Anderson stands with his heels at the 16-yard line. Tunley and Oder back deep, low snap on the punt, and a line drive end-over-end kick is going to be dropped by Micah Oder, but it skips right back into his chest at the 38-yard line. And Rockhurst will take over, up 14, 6:01 to go till halftime.
Now that's called home field bounce right there, because it bounced and it landed right back into his lap, and you know, just not anything going well right now for Bishop Miege on offense, which is kind of surprising. I mean, as many years as we've done Miege, Tim, they've always looked good on offense. It's kind of been their defense that has sprung some leaks in the past, but right now their defense has kind of kept them in this game the last couple drives.
Rockhurst sets up shop from their own 38-yard line. Yeah, the last 2 drives they've sputtered. An interception and a punt. And now Hansen turns, gives to Ryan straight up the middle, breaks through 1 tackle and fights out near the 44, pick up a 5 yards. And that's more like the first down plays we saw in the first couple drives.
They kind of got away from just making sure that Aiden Ryan touches the ball on plays that he could get running downhill. I mean, they got kind of fancy a couple times there, but that one's just old bread and butter. Hand it to number 7, your effective running back, and let him get after it with this offensive line.
Rockhurst scored all 14 points in the first quarter on their first 2 drives of the ball game. But again, empty possessions the last 2 drives. Coppinger straight up the middle, lowering the shoulder and punishing his way to midfield.
You know, he reminds me of one of those fullbacks that you used to see at Nebraska, where they would just line up in the I formation or the power I and run fullback trap, fullback power, and the guy was just huge and he was always athletic. And you know, Tommy Coppinger reminds me a lot of those old Nebraska fullbacks, and you can see why he's being recruited to go at that next level pretty heavily.
He's a load at 6'4", 220. New set of downs to Rockhurst from midfield. Play fake. Hansen is going to bootleg to the right. Has time. Airs one out deep down the right side for Carson. He overshot him. If he puts that on the money, Carson walks into the end zone.
Just overthrew Miles Carson. And got to give credit a little bit, though, to the Bishop Miege defense. They forced Hansen to kind of scramble, not throw off his back feet, didn't get his feet set, and it just was not an accurate throw. But because if it's accurate, that's a touchdown. Great play call. But Stag's defense does just enough.
I'll tell you, the pass rush for Miege is getting there. They've got 8 sacks through the first 3 games. It's just been the run defense that's been the issue, and now that doesn't help. Jumping offside. Well, it would appear offside, but Miege is pointing in the direction of Rockhurst, and it will be a false start against the Hawks.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Jack Bickelmeyer, the receiver, lined up outside, kind of flinched and got just enough to get the penalty.
So that helps the Stags. Makes it 2nd and 15 for the Hawklets. 4:46 to go opening quarter. In front of a capacity crowd here at Rockhurst High School. 2 to the right side. Hansen will drop back in the shotgun. Snap back. Design quarterback draw. Running left side, angling for the sideline. Flag flies as he's dropped out of bounds near the 48. Would be a gain of 7, but this in the area.
Yeah, they're going to get Mitch Forbes, the tight end, holding right where Hansen broke to the outside, to the left. Mitch Forbes was holding the outside linebacker. He kind of held his arms up like, don't catch me, don't catch me. Oh, gosh, there's a flag at my feet.
So now Rockhurst way behind the sticks. Back-to-back penalties against the Hawklets. Mark them back at their own 37-yard line. 2 plays ago, they were at midfield. Quick math, that means it's 2nd and 23. 4.5 to go first half. If you're joining us late, Rockhurst up 14-0. This Miege offense that's averaged 51 points a game through the first 3 games has been shut out. Ryan is met in the backfield, a loss of a pair, and this Miege defense is flipping a switch in the second quarter.
Yeah, Finn Cusick, the B linebacker, bolts his way through there untouched, beat the offensive lineman to the position, and was in the backfield there. How about this? Gardner 20, Mill Valley 3.
Wow. And remember, Mill Valley was pretty much the consensus #1 team in Kansas coming into this week, regardless of what publication you looked at. So that's a little bit of a surprise. Hansen Play fake on a third and real long, airing one out deep down the left sideline. Caught over the shoulder by Tunley as he's dragged down from behind at the 15. Oh, he dropped that in the bucket.
He put that one about, what, 40, 45 yards on a rope, Tim, on a rope. Ethan Hansen, hello. And how about the catch by Tunley to go over his shoulder, catch it in stride, and get the huge play to flip the field, get momentum back, whatever you want to do. That pass right there, that's special. That's special right there.
Rockhurst converts a 3rd and 25. And now they've got 1st and 10 from the Miege 12-yard line. Hansen turns, flips to Ryan, running right side, cutting back as he is dropped near the 8-yard line.
Oh my gosh, Tommy Coppinger comes from the fullback spot, and he met a defender, and he blocked the defender. The defender goes flying back 5 yards. He let his feet from the decleater. That's going to be on film tomorrow. You're going to watch that, and you're going to go, holy cow. He needs to put that play first on his highlight because Tommy Coppinger, holy cow.
And this Miege defense is not small either. This is a stout starting unit. But Tommy Coppinger with a big boy block. It's 2nd and 7 for Rockhurst. Near the 9-yard line, Hansen rolling right on the snap, looking right. Pressure from the backside. He is going to fire this one last second. Knocked away, incomplete. Dangerous throw.
Yeah.
Looking for Aiden Ryan. Jack Baird batted it away.
Got very lucky. Actually, Ryan almost had to play defensive back essentially there to kind of break that pass up. But, you know, so I like sometimes coaches just try to outsmart themselves. Sometimes, you know, you run the ball so effectively, you're pounding it on them, and then you just run a kind of weird rollout to the right, to the short side of the field. There was nobody open at all. Well defended, but now you set yourself up in 3rd and long.
2:21 to go till halftime. Rockhurst up 14-0. This is a big 3rd down for Miege defensively. Hansen, option look. He's going to flip to Ryan, hitting the sideline as he's ankle tackled near the 7-yard line by Baird, who is all over the place in this 2nd quarter, and it's going to be 4th down.
Man, John Holmes calls the timeout to save some time here.
2:10 to go till halftime. He's got 1 timeout remaining. And you would imagine Rockhurst with a 2-touchdown lead and a very good kicker probably just opts to take points here.
Yeah, I certainly would. Certainly would. You take the points. You feel pretty good about how that wasn't the prettiest of drives there, but you did get it into a spot where you can only put yourself in a position to get at least 3 points on the attempt.
Logan Keithler, assuming he jogs on for this field goal try, connected on a 41-yarder last week down in Bentonville, Arkansas, to knock off Bentonville as time expired, 24-21. It was the first time in program history that Rockhurst has beaten Bentonville. And he will jog out there.
Team too. You know, it still shows you the respect that Rockhurst has. You know, they lost the game, and Bentonville still stays in the top 5 in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Big class.
This is a 24-yarder from the right hash for Keithler, who's 2 for 3 taking field goals this season. Snap. Hold on the way. It is no good as he pushes in right.
And just messed up the mechanics. I'm not going to put that one on the kicker, Tim.
I will say, down in pregame, though, he was missing a couple of chip shots.
We did say that. You're right. You're right.
And that time off the right hash. Granted, in pregame, he was kicking him off the left hash, and he was pushing him. And now here off the right hash, he puts it wide right.
Well, you're Miege. You have an opening here to get back into this game. Can you find a way to muster up a scoring drive after being pretty ineffective most of the night?
2:06 to go till halftime. Rodriguez, snap back, all day to throw. Now he's going to roll right. has room. Instead, he's going to load up, fire for the sideline. That is caught, and getting decked at the 40 is Taron Jackson, but he moves the chains again at 20.
I like the play by Rodriguez. Patient. Rolls. Finds the receiver coming back to get the football. Jackson gets hit hard, and he still is able to hang on to the pass. But that's a great play by Rodriguez.
Out near the 41 goes Miege after the 20-yard catch by Jackson. Rodriguez looking right on the snap, rolling right again, dumps it off for his tailback, Garcia, who scampers out of bounds near the 46-yard line. Pick up a 1:40 to go till halftime.
When Rodriguez has time, Tim, I mean, he looks good. He's made some good decisions tonight. It's just there's not been a whole lot open for him.
Yeah, he seems patient in the pocket. Every time he scrambles, he's keeping those eyes downfield, looking to pay it off. He has not seemed spooked by this Rockhurst D-line, although no points to show for it thus far. 1:40 to go till halftime. One to the left, one to the right. Garcia the deep back. Snap back to Rodriguez. Pressure in his face. Fires right side down the sideline. He overshot Jackson, incomplete.
They're going to want that one back because they ran a cover 2, and Jackson curled up right in between the zones, the linebacker at safety level, and he was wide open, and Rodriguez didn't get the mechanics right, Tim. Didn't step into the throw, and it sailed high out of bounds. That one's going to sting because he catches that to the first down. He steps out of bounds and preserves more clock.
3rd and 5. 1:35 to go in the second quarter. Got to have it if you're Miege. This drive started so promising. Snap back. They only send 3 at Rodriguez. Pressure in his face. He's going to fire near side, incomplete. Nearly picked off by Ben Stringer. And at the last second, a D lineman flashed right into the grill of Marco Rodriguez.
You know who that D lineman was? That was Andrew Sprague, Tim. Andrew Sprague, the Michigan 4-star offensive tackle commitment, flips the switch and plays defense, and he gets back in Rodriguez's face and forces the incomplete pass on the 3rd down. And how about that? I mean, that's called doing it all for your team.
Miege punt unit out there in a high spiraling line drive boot is going to be fielded near the 20 by Oder. Angling right side across the 35, tripped up near the 38-yard line, and we'll see if Rockhurst decides to be aggressive here. 1:21 to go in the first half, up 14-0, but only one timeout remaining for Kelly Donahoe.
Yeah, every time I say be conservative, we see teams go after, put the foot on the gas here. I guess it's just how confident you feel in your offensive line. Maybe you run one of the traditional NFL plays on first down, or you run a screen, draw something. If you get big yardage, you go.
For what it's worth, Miege will start the 3rd quarter with the football. 2 left, 2 right. In the shotgun, Ethan Hansen. Snap back, play fake. Rolling left, pressure in his face, stepping up. He's going to throw back across his body. He's got Carson, who's dragged down from behind, about a yard shy of the first down near the 48.
Good protection, just enough to let Hansen get the completion.
Clock keeps running at a minute to go in this second quarter. 2-touchdown Rockhurst advantage. Snap back, play fake, rolling right this time. In the flat, he's got his tight end who sprints out of bounds at the Miege 48-yard line. They only pick up 3, but they move the chains and stop the clock.
Yeah, stop the clock, get the first down. Both vitally important on that. Yeah, Bishop Miege didn't really seem like they're like, yeah, you can throw that underneath stuff.
First catch of the year for Riley Sullivan. 52 seconds to go in this first half. 3 left, 1 right for Hansen. New set of downs in Miege territory. Aiden Ryan, the give, sandwiched at the line of scrimmage, goes nowhere. And Kelly Donahoe lets that clock keep running. Inside 40 seconds now. They go no huddle. Hansen, snap back, play fake. This time he'll roll left on the snap. Eyes downfield, fires to the sideline. Picklemeyer's got the catch at the 35, swims one, and he's dropped near the 32 of Miege.
That's a heck of a catch because it was behind him.
Hansen gets to the line and spikes it with 27 seconds to go in the first half. By the way, stick with us through halftime. Our Sports Radio 810 studios stick right here in the booth as we fire it over to Jonathan Pulasic, who is punching the buttons on the stream at 810varsity.com. He'll update you with all the scores going on across the metro area on crossover night. A lot of Kansas-Missouri clashes tonight, including Lee Summit North and Blue Valley Northwest. Staley taking on Blue Valley West. And then a big Kansas matchup as Gardner Edgerton earlier was running all over Mill Valley. He'll get you updated on that one. But again, here at Rockhurst in the Catholic Clash, it's been all Hawklets since the word go. 14-0 they lead over Miege. 27 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 10 after Hansen grounds it. And now he wants to huddle. As
what's
an
going on?
Timeout.
I mean, why didn't the play clock run? The play clock didn't run at all. They didn't call timeout, right?
They didn't. They grounded it. Donahoe never took that timeout. And they're trying to reset, I believe,
25 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to reset the game clock to 25.
But yeah, they
treated that
like a timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, what's going on here?
And if you're Kelly Donahoe, you better fight tooth and nail for that last timeout.
Well, and if you're Bishop Miege, you're frustrated because the clock didn't roll. Especially the play clock.
Yeah, the play clock, yeah. Three receivers to the right, one receiver to the left. And finally, they give the ready for action signal. Hansen, snap back. Rolls near side. He is going to get dropped. Back at the 39-yard line. Pressure gets home for Miege. Neil Carmen with his second sack of the year.
Can't do that. You got to get rid of the football. Nice pressure by Carmen, but there were multiple.
Yeah, that was a jailbreak.
Multiple defenders back in the backfield there, Tim.
Again, the pass rush has been good for Miege. We haven't had an opportunity to see it much just because Rockhurst has ran it so much tonight. But this is a defensive line that has now come up with 9 sacks in the first 3.5 games.
Got good size, got good speed.
And Jeremy, as we're 19 seconds away from halftime, I'm going to try to do a dive, but boy, off top of my head, I could not even begin to tell you the last time Miege got shut out in the first half.
Yeah.
They scored more than 20 in both of their losses last year.
I would say they can't hit it tonight, but you would really have to do some digging, especially with John Holmes at the helm over the last 12 years. Out of the timeout, 3rd and 17. Snap back to Hansen. Rolling right. He is going to tuck it, angle for the sideline, dive, and just get out of bounds.
They got lucky they called that out of bounds because Betts had him zeroed in, and, he might have had a knee down or an elbow down in bounds, Tim.
It only picks up a yard, but the clock is the most important thing here. And they are going to run on the field goal unit. This would be a 55-yarder. Keithler, remember, just pushed.
Well, they need to get going because they've got only 6 seconds. They might not get this off.
He's got a leg. Snap back, hold down, kick on the way. Got the leg. It is no good. Wide right from 55 away. And it will end with a scoreless second quarter, and we remain 14-0. Oh, sorry, 7 seconds to go in this first half.
That thing floated in the air forever and just
That's a good weapon.
have if you can get that. I mean, because if that's just a little bit in closer, accuracy's a little bit more there. Not too many kids in Kansas City that can have a leg like that.
I'm not sure that I was aware of this rule, Jeremy. They've got Miege at their own 20. I don't know why that's ruled a touchback. And so now with 7 seconds, there's no way Miege tries a Hail Mary. They are going to keep it on the ground with Garcia, who is gang tackled after a gain of 3. Boy, that's curious. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
You thought that Rockhurst or Miege was going to have a Hail Mary chance, but for some reason they put him at their 20. Either way, that's how the first half ends. Rockhurst, a 14-0 advantage. All 14 points came in the first quarter. The Miege defense started to figure it out, but boy, the Miege offense, for the first time in a long time, shut out in the first half. Stay with us. We're going to step aside on Sports Radio 810. Flip it over to Jonathan Polasic on the other side of this. He has got all your scores from around the Metro on a busy Friday night of high school football on Sports Radio 810.
Keep up with the Lee Summit Tigers.
That carryout comes in clutch.
We welcome you back to Severino Field at Rockhurst High School. This matchup between two top 10 teams and the A10 varsity top 25. The confidence rubbed off from last week. The Rockhurst Hawklets on top of the Bishop Miege Stags, 14-0. What saw a 32-yard touchdown pass from Ethan Hansen to Mason Tunley to get the scoring started on the evening. And then not too long later in the first quarter, it was Tommy Coppinger from 9 yards out to give Rockhurst a 14-0 lead. A couple of drives for Bishop Miege stalled out, including that one that could have gotten them into field goal range, but nonetheless, we sit here in a scoreless Bishop Miege Stags Catholic Clash, 14-0. Again, Jonathan Polasic here with you from Severino Field. Jeremy Crabtree and Tim Spurl on the call this evening. If you would like all of your scores and updates, you can go the same place that I am going to tonight, 810varsity.com. And we start with Week 5 in the state of Missouri. Another crosstown rivalry tonight. Lee Summit West on the road at Lee Summit. As of right now, number 11 in the 810 varsity top 25, the Titans lead the Tigers 19-14. Grain Valley has quietly had a nice year. One loss on the card. The number 9 team in the 810 varsity top 25 is knotted up with 6A Blue Springs South. Only 4 miles or so separating those two schools. Couple more from around the area. Liberty North, number 2 right now in the rankings. At home, taking on Park Hill, and they are on top of the Trojans, 31-0. The Ray-Pec Panthers have not had the season that they have wanted thus far, but they lead in a crossover match tonight against Blue Valley North, 7-0. That being played at Ray-Pec. The Blue Valley Northwest Huskies are number 14 in the 810 varsity top 25, and they are knotted up with the number 1 team in the city, Lee Summit North, 7 apiece as we sit right now. Park Hill South on top of Liberty 16-7. The Fort Osage Indians playing host to the Raytown Blue Jays tonight. The Indians on top of the Blue Jays 28-7. North Kansas City is hosting their friends from up north at St. Joe Central. The Hornets on top of the Indians 14-3. The Oak Park Northmen have been a nice story so far this year. The number 6 team in the A-10 varsity top 25 lead Platte County at Platte County, who is number 16 right now in the rankings. Oak Park 28, Platte County 0. Grandview is on the road at Truman tonight in Independence. The Bulldogs on top of the Patriots 26-7. A couple of other ones not so surprising. Smithville on top of Excelsior Springs right now 35-0. That game being played in Smithville. The Kearney Bulldogs on top of the Winnetonka Griffins 42-0. That game being played in Kearney. Raytown South on the road at Ruskin, they lead the Eagles 21-0. Again, this game right here, Rockhurst on top of Bishop Miege 14-0. Warrensburg at center, they're up 14-0. Oak Grove out at Clinton 14-6. The Panthers lead there. Harrisonville on top of Summit Christian Academy 34-0. Odessa on top of Pleasant Hill right now. The Roosters, number 12 in the 8-10 varsity top 25. So a little bit of an upset thus far. The Odessa Bulldogs on top, 7-3. Maryville on top of Cameron, 7-0, And St. Pius X on top of Chillicothe, 31-0. Savannah on top of St. Joe Benton. And a few more as we go down here, as we get closer to the Topeka area. The Holden Eagles on top of Lexington. You can find all of these, including the one that we have here tonight. And we will be back on the other side with a very shocking game taking place in Mill Valley. All that and more coming up. You are listening to the Sports Radio 810 Game of the Week. Back after this.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Creed, are you eating Jack Stack?
Yep. Jack Stack has carry out at all 6 locations, so I can eat barbecue anytime I want.
Did you get Jack Stack for your birthday?
Yep.
What about holidays?
Yep.
What about game days?
Yep.
Kansas City, you don't need a reason to order hickory smoked barbecue from Jack.
That carryout comes in clutch.
As you know, it was a great first year here in Kansas City.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices. Just like we're always making sure to keep our shelves stocked with the affordable, high-quality food your family loves. We're here to ensure the products you want are always right where you need them, when you need them. And with budget-friendly options on every shelf, you can be sure you're getting the very best for less. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Welcome back to Severino Fields. Sports Radio 810 Game of the Week. Tim Spurl, Jeremy Crabtree calling the action as Rockhurst leads Bishop Miege in the Catholic Clash 14-0. Speaking of Bishop Miege, they are ranked number 7 right now in the 810 varsity top 25, and a whole host of friends over in Kansas making the trip across state line tonight, including some of the ones that we've already told you about. Lee Summit North and Blue Valley Northwest knotted up at 7 apiece. Ray Peck again leading Blue Valley North 7-0. Again, Rockhurst here on top of Bishop Miege. One we didn't mention on the Missouri side, Blue Valley, the Tigers are leading the Blue Springs Wildcats 14-6. Blue Valley Southwest right now quietly having a good season at 2-1, number 13 in the rankings. 42 over Spring Hill, who's number 19 in the rankings, 42-13. Blue Valley West taking a trip to Staley. They lead right now, 14-7. St. Thomas Aquinas taking a trip to their friends down at St. James Academy, St. Thomas Aquinas right now number 4 in the 8-10 varsity top 25. They lead 14-0. The one that we have kept our eye on closely throughout the evening, and one that I have to give so much credit to Tim Spurl for calling this one. If it was going to be a Gardner-Edgerton win, it would be a blowout. Otherwise, he thought it'd be Mill Valley. Gardner-Edgerton, the number 5 team in the 8-10 varsity top 25, on top of Mill Valley, the number 3 team, 35-3. That's right. At halftime, Gardner-Edgerton 35, Mill Valley 3. That available to watch online as well, even though right now it seems like a bit of a blowout. Over in Lawrence, the Free State Firebirds, number 15 in the rankings right now. They're on top of Shawnee Mission Northwest, 27-6. Olathe North, again, undefeated right now, taking on Shawnee Mission South. They are leading 33-7. Olathe West against Olathe Northwest. The Owls of West lead 14-0. In a lopsided, most lopsided we've seen tonight, Shawnee Mission West Vikings are down to the Olathe South Falcons 50-0. That's right, a 50-piece right now against Shawnee Mission West. Shawnee Mission East Lancers on top of the Shawnee Mission North Bison 21-0. Baser Linwood out taking on their friends from Shawnee Heights over in Topeka 28-0. Baser Linwood leads that one. DeSoto on top of Leavenworth 30-0 right now as well. No score right now. Report from Lansing versus Seaman out of Topeka. The Piper Pirates on top of Topeka West 7-0 right now. Baldwin leading the Santa Fe Trail Chargers 19-7 out in Kansas. Lewisburg Wildcats on top of Bonner Springs 39-0. Ottawa on top of Eudora 10-7. Tonganoxie leading Paola 21-14. Again, you can find all of these scores on 810varsity.com. All of those from around the area that you want to have access to, you will be able to find, including the one that we have right here, Rockhurst leading Bishop Miege 14-0. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more with Tim Spurl after the break on the first half and what can change in the second half if Bishop Miege is going to get back in this. This has been the Halftime Report on your Sports Radio 810 WHB Game of the Week.
Sports Radio 810 W8.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine.
It's on sale. Select varieties up to 40% off. Trees start at 2 inches, but they've got bigger ones too.
90-second break, about a minute and 10
already
seconds left.
10 feet or better in height. So put on your boots, come out and save Saturday, September 23rd at Rose Hill Gardens in Belton, Missouri. Get more info at rosehillgardens.com. Brew at the Zoo returns to the Kansas City Zoo and Aquarium this fall. Enjoy a 21 and over evening at the zoo on Saturday, October 14th, featuring live music, free samples from over 40 local breweries, food trucks, and this year your ticket also includes access to Glow Wild, the zoo's immersive lantern festival. Your ticket benefits the zoo's conservation fund, helping animals at home and around the globe. Grab your tickets online today at kansascityzoo.org. That's kansascityzoo.org.
Premier Volvo Cars of Overland Park has the largest inventory of new 2023 Volvos in the Midwest. Rates as low as 4.99% for up to 72 months. Don't wait, the deals are unbeatable, and now is the time to buy a new vehicle. Additional savings for Costco members on all certified pre-owned Volvos. Just ask for Sean Weiss or Jimmy Loveland, where luxury and safety meet. Premier Volvo Cars of Overland Park at 78th and Metcalf, or at premiervolvocarsoverlandpark.com. See dealer for details.
Field. The Rockhurst Hawklets on top of the Bishop Miege Stags in this top 10 matchup, 14-0. Jonathan Plassick here with you. Tim Spurl joining me, and Jeremy Crabtree just back on the other side of the break here in just a little while. And Tim, it just seems like Rockhurst has had their foot on the gas. We talked a little bit pregame about how the momentum of that win and the walk-off fashion that they had down in Arkansas last week against Bentonville would kind of bolster them into this position. What did you see from your play-by-play position that really made Rockhurst stand out.
Well, yeah, they were shot out of a cannon, and it's been them staying ahead of the chains, right? Aiden Ryan has had a ton of success running the football. Tommy Coppinger, Miege has not had an answer for him on the ground. However, that Bishop Miege defense was a lot better in that second quarter. And again, if they can eliminate Rockhurst getting 5-6 yards on first down, that's when they were able to find their footing. But yeah, Rockhurst shot out of a cannon. Great first couple of drives. But other than that, I mean, it's been a perfect stalemate outside of that. So the Miege defense has figured something out. Again, I expect that it's going to be a big dose of Aiden Ryan and Tommy Coppinger when Rockhurst does get the football back because, again, that Miege secondary is very good. They've got the interception. They made a big pass breakup. Really the only hiccup for that secondary was that 3rd and 25 completion, but there's not a lot you can do about a perfectly placed pass by Ethan Hansen over the shoulder like that. But, yeah, they're going to want to stay in front of the chains, right? That's what they're going to be doing in this second half. In those Rockhurst wins that we see, that's what they do, right? They kill the clock. They run the football. They run you to death. They'll throw a couple of play actions in there.
Yeah.
But assuming Miege doesn't come down here and score on the opening drive, expect a strong dose of that throughout the rest of the third quarter. But on the counter side, really all the focus is going to be on what Miege is going to do offensively. And for them, they just have not been able to find their footing. Again, credit the Rockhurst defense. They are a big, physical, strong unit. But there are some holes in the secondary, right? 2 weeks ago, we saw them against Liberty North, and they got absolutely scorched by Keelan Smith, who had 3 touchdowns in that game for Liberty North. He got behind them time and time again. However, Marco Rodriguez does not have the time. He doesn't have the offensive line that Liberty North has. But John Holmes is one of the best coaches in the metro area at making adjustments, right? He's one of the best offensive coaches in the area. And this isn't an overmatched offense. This is an offense that has moved the ball. Remember, they got down the red zone. They had 1st and goal to go, but they missed a field goal. So they can move the ball against Rockhurst offensively. It's just a matter of getting Marco Rodriguez in a bit of a rhythm. David Garcia, he's played his heart out, but he does not have a lot of running lanes tonight, so you know they're going to have to go to the air in this second half. But it's just going to be a matter of getting Rodriguez in sort of more of a comfort mode, right?
Sure.
Giving them those quick hitting passes, giving him a couple of easy checkdowns where he can find that rhythm and set himself up for the deep passes. Because even when we see him scramble, he keeps his eyes downfield. He does a very good job not getting spooked. Moment doesn't seem too big for him. He just needs a little bit of time. But if you give him some of those rhythm throws, which I fully anticipate John Holmes doing, maybe this offense starts to find their footing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not like Rockhurst is blowing out a team that doesn't have any experience.
Right.
These guys are incredibly experienced. John Holmes is a guy that's won multiple state championships, as Jeremy opened up the broadcast with. And so for them, it just seems get to who you are, right? I mean, you're sitting out here and you're watching their man Marco Rodriguez throw 40-yard, 30 and 35-yard dimes, getting re-warmed up. I would imagine, obviously, down 14, you're going to have to go to the air, but they're no stranger to tossing it around the yard. Like you said, they've averaged an incredible amount of points so far in their 3 weeks this season. So go out, play their game, and then we'll see who is the better team in the end. But obviously Rockhurst has played a flawless half, and excited to kind of hear you guys go through this call in the second half.
Oh, should be fun. And again, Rockhurst has got Miege pinned up against the wall, but Miege will start that third quarter with the football. Second half on the other side of this on Sports Radio 810 and 810varsity.com.
Sports Radio 810
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
Rockhurst High School, a 14-0 advantage for the Hawklets over the Stags. And if that seems eerie, well, Jeremy, I did some digging.
Okay.
Box scores aren't updated as far back as 2012, 2013. But as far as I can tell, in the 12 seasons that John Holmes has been here, at least going back to 2012, he's never been shut out in the first half.
Wow.
And Rockhurst just did it to him in that first half. Granted, Miege did miss a chip shot field goal. But the fact remains, that offense with a very unfamiliar opening 24 minutes.
But you want to sell it, though. If you're in the locker room, you almost feel fortunate. As bad as we played, if you're Bishop Miege, we're only 2 scores down. You come out the first drive of the second half, punch it in the end zone, you're right back in this game. And we've seen weird things happen in rivalry games. We know that the Stags have explosive playmaking ability, but just haven't shown it here tonight. But you're talking about silver linings, trying to spin it, and do things coaches do. You're at halftime telling your guys, "Hey, we played the worst half that we played in maybe a decade at Bishop Miege, and guys, we're only 2 scores down." So your defense started to show some signs of life. Your quarterback did make some throws, but you're still only 2 scores down. So that's something that you kind of hang your hat on. And then the flip side, if you're Rockhurst, you played great, but you're only 2 scores. So I'm trying to think things positively for Bishop Miege, because Rockhurst looked great in that first half.
Yeah,
they dominated in every aspect of it, and that did not look like the Bishop Miege that we have always seen. And I think a lot of that has to be, you have to tip your hat and credit this Hawklet entire squad.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I fully anticipate John Holmes to not only give Marco Rodriguez a couple of those short hitters in the passing game, but their best drive of that first half, if you'll remember, was that drive where they missed the field goal. They got all the way down inside the 10-yard line. That entire drive, they went no huddle. They went to the hurry-up.
Yep.
They made Rockhurst backpedal a bit on defense, and granted, Rockhurst stood up and made a stand inside the 10, but for the majority of that drive, Miege had them on their heels.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Rockhurst did a lot of things right, but there were some struggles down. There was some inconsistency in that second quarter late. Missed field goal by Rockhurst. Feels like it's kept this one at least at within grasp instead of at arm's length.
Again, in these 5 meetings, only 9 points separate these 2 teams since they restarted this rivalry back in 2018. And we have had some wild finishes, including last year's goal line stand by the Stags defense to hold off a last-second drive from the Hawklets to preserve a 28-21 victory for the Stags. And still a long way to go in this game. Again, we've seen dramatic comebacks in this abbreviated history over the last 5 years. And Miege will be the last team that you would assume is just going to go quietly into the night here.
Oh, yeah. No, they're too proud of a program. Championship expectations. And they probably got read the riot act at halftime. Yeah. So they're going to come out fired up here.
Again, talking to John Holmes this week, he said Rockhurst is our measuring stick. If we want to go beat Aquinas, if we want to go repeat as state champions, and again, in order to do that, you're going to have to beat Aquinas, not in the regular season, but also in the playoffs as well. You've got to go show you can do it against a similar team in Rockhurst, the team that has got a massive defensive line, just like they do over there at Aquinas, a team that can move it very well on the ground, just like they can over there at Aquinas. So John Holmes, this is a big second half for his team. Can they stand up to Rockhurst, and can they prove to themselves that they've got championship mettle again? Ready to start this third quarter. A high end-over-end kick is going to be fielded near the 5-yard line by Lynch across the 15 to the 20. Drop near the 23-yard line, and here comes that Stags offense, who, again, could not run the ball very well in that first half. Marco Rodriguez got going near the end of that first half, but again, no points to show for it in the first 24 minutes.
You got to find a way to get David Garcia going, get that running attack going. Your offensive line's too big, too strong, too talented to not get have some sort of sense of a running attack, and then that sets up Taron Jackson and all the other playmakers at receiver, but you got to get the running attack rolling here early on in this second half.
Taron Jackson's only been targeted twice tonight. First down, they're going to pitch to Garcia. Running left, cuts it back. He's across the 30, spun forward near the 33. A gain of 11 to the 34 and a first down.
There you go. That's a good start to this drive in the second half. You get it to your running back. Nice job blocking on the left side of the offensive line, and 11 yards for a first down.
That was the best run of the night for David Garcia. 11 yards on the toss. 3 to the left side. Rodriguez gives to Garcia straight up the middle. This time he's plugged up, but he falls forward for a gain of 3.
Yeah, there's just not been a whole lot straight ahead all night long. I mean, that's one thing that I know that they like to do at Bishop Miege. They like to run those inside traps, but those just have not been there tonight.
From their own 37-yard line, Marco Rodriguez checking the sideline for the play call. Play clock inside 15, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Taron Jackson wide to the left side. Snap back, Rodriguez wants to go to the air. He's going to flare it out for Garcia, right side. He is going to dodge under 1 and run out of bounds across the 40 near the 41. He's elusive at 5'6".
Yeah, but still well defended, though, by Rockhurst, because drop back in coverage. Nobody was open deep. They tried to throw it underneath to Garcia and then rally to the point of attack. And this is a big 3rd down and 3 here for the Stags. Got to convert.
3rd and 3, and 3 yards or less is normally a green light for John Holmes in a 4th down situation, but ideally you want to stay away from 4th down. From their own 41-yard line. They need the 44 to move the chains. Toss to Garcia, running right, cuts it up, hammered at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 4th down.
Boy. Jeff Ketting was right there. The announcer was right on the money. Jeff Ketting just blitzed through there and gave Garcia for no gain.
I told you, green light offense stays out there. Rodriguez, hard count movement, and they throw the flag. Rockhurst, I believe, came across and gave Miege a free first down.
Yeah, the little things.
Boy, that flag came out pretty late, too. For a second there, you thought Rockhurst was going to get away with it. But it does come out, and Miege, aided by penalty, keeps this drive alive to the 46. 2 to the left side for Rodriguez. Out of the gun. Gives to Garcia, running left side. Breaks 1 tackle. He's charging across midfield in the Rockhurst territory. Submarine at the 48.
There you go. Ran through the arm tackle of Vince White and just showed some strength and some power.
Yeah, Garcia's used to not getting hit, used to a lot of open running lanes. But tonight, in this second half, he is just going to have to get physical and go north-south. Gain of 6 yards on first down. Garcia again the give, straight up the middle. He gets plugged up at the line, maybe fell forward for a half yard, and another 3rd and about 3 play.
Yeah.
Spot the ball at the Rockhurst 47-yard line. Need the 44 to move the chains. Twins receivers to the left side again, off the far hash. First drive of this 3rd quarter for the Stags. Rodriguez is going to give to Garcia straight up the middle, lowers the shoulder, turns the feet near the 45, and we'll see where they mark him.
Yeah, don't think he's going to quite be there. Going to be now 4th and 1. Nice push by this offensive line, but just not enough. And obviously going to go for it again here on 4th down.
Heavy dose of the pint-sized tailback. Only goes 160 pounds. They need a yard here from the Rockhurst 45-yard line. Hard count again from Rodriguez. Checks the sideline. 8:38 to go third quarter. Opening drive of the second half. Miege in a 14-point hole.
Got to get it going.
Play clock to 3. Rodriguez doesn't see it. And now John Holmes has to take a timeout at the end of the play clock. Rodriguez was motioning his tailback with 3 seconds left on the play clock. And I don't know if he was aware, because there's no way you're motioning your tailback that late.
Yeah, not just once, but twice.
Yeah.
Reset him multiple times, tried to call the audible, saw Rodriguez pointing at the linebacker saying this is where he is, this is where he is, and change things up again. And yeah, I understand why you want to eat the timeout just to be right here, because this feels like a rather significant moment in this game.
Yeah.
You don't get this 4th down, and yikes.
Rockhurst had a situation like this in the first half, but they had a 220-pound fullback that they could give the ball to. Miege has a 160-pound tailback back there with his quarterback, who lines up in the shotgun on a 4th and a yard play. And now he tucks in under center. Rodriguez, hard count, tosses to Garcia, running left side. He's got the first down as he sheds a tackle and dives out to the Rockhurst 39.
Oh, I like that. Shift everybody one way. Toss pitch it that same way. A lot of window dressing for a simple toss play, but Garcia got the first down yardage. Good blocking on the outside.
8:15 to go third quarter. Rockhurst up 14-0, but Miege on the move. Trying to get points on their opening drive of this second half. Snap back to Rodriguez, digs it out of the turf. Looking left, airs one deep down the sideline. Leaping is Taryn Jackson, incomplete. He couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
Wow, it's a pretty amazing catch. He came down with it in double coverage, but as you said, Tim, out of bounds. And I don't know if you saw again who was in the face of Marco Rodriguez. Again, the Michigan commitment, Andrew Sprague, and all 6'8", 275 pounds. That's why Rodriguez had to throw the ball way up, kind of an arching angle, because you have the 6'8" defensive lineman in your way.
Kind of convenient when you can bring a 6'8", 280-pounder off your bench for the D-line.
Yeah.
He's not even a starter. Garcia straight up the middle through an arm tackle. He's out to the 33-yard line. Rips off a gain of 8 on 2nd and 10. And now they go quickly to the line. 3rd and 2. Rodriguez gives to Garcia. Hops one, dives to the 31, and he's going to be short of the first down.
Needed to hop a third.
They need to get near the 29, about the 29.5-yard line to move the chains. So they call it 4th and 2.
All right, well, we've been here before. 3rd, 4th down attempt on this drive. And Rodriguez is all the way over the sideline, coming back to get the play called. And we're down now just to 10 seconds left on the play clock. They got to hustle on this one.
Holmes has already taken one timeout on this drive. 3 to the right, 1 to the left.
They're not going to get it off.
5. Motioning his tailback. Play clock at 2, and John Holmes takes his second timeout with 6:59 to go in the third quarter.
Just so lackadaisical from Rodriguez to get up to the line of scrimmage.
He came out onto the field and walked straight to the white hat. I'm not sure what he's upset about, but he made a beeline right past his quarterback and went straight to the head official.
Yeah, but your quarterback's got to show some more urgency, knowing it's 4th down. You got the play call. I mean, they didn't get back up to the line of scrimmage, Tim, until, 12 seconds on the play clock, and then he still didn't quite maneuver quickly to even get in the shotgun to go. So I understand why he's up. He's probably just frustrated that he had to burn 2 timeouts on this drive. But now that you burn these 2 timeouts, you better convert here, and then you better score a touchdown.
They have killed more than 5 minutes of this third quarter game clock. And this crowd is going to come to life for a 4th down play. Standing room only here at Rockhurst. They do have a couple of tailgates going in some backyards, back behind the fence over to our right. and our left. It's a party out here at Rockhurst. And a big fourth down coming for this crowd. Off the Rockhurst 31, they need the 29. Snap back to Rodriguez. Play fake over the middle. He's got Moeller across the 25, near sideline 15 with a stiff arm. He's inside the 10, breaking tackles and into the end zone. Goes Hollis Moeller on a 4th and 2.
If you're going to use 2 timeouts and have to convert on a 4th down, you better dial up something special. And they dialed it up. A perfect play call. Marco Rodriguez play fakes to the right and then throws it back to Hollis Muller, who is wide open. In fact, the linebacker starts sprinting to where the pump fake went, and Muller had nobody around him. And then finally he was able to push through and get the touchdown. What a play call. What execution. And the Stags are right back in this game.
Again, I'll reiterate it. I don't know that there is a better coach in the Metro, better at making halftime offensive adjustments than Mr. John Holmes. He takes his team 75 yards in 5 minutes and 8 seconds, and it's back to a 1-score game in the Catholic Clash on Sports Radio 810.
Find out more information at kansashealthsystem.com/sportsmedicine.
14-7. Boy, it seems like a flip has been switched on that far side for Miege. A fantastic drive for this Stags offense. It wasn't pretty at times. They had a 4th down and 2 that was gifted a 1st down by an offsides, and then they convert a 4th and 2.
Did you see John Holmes after that? I mean, this means so much. He went up and down the side, like pumping his fist. This means, I mean, like we talked pregame, this means a lot. And to get back into this game, he's fired up, man.
A high, short kick. The up man is going to field it cleanly with a fair catch at the 32-yard line. Boy, that scraped the sky here at Rockhurst. And the Hawklets set up with a pretty good starting field position, but boy, this offense, we haven't seen them on the field in almost 45 minutes now.
Yeah, it's been forever, and the Stags did make some adjustments in the second quarter to kind of throw things off, but they also, admittedly, they kind of got away from running Aiden Ryden a little bit in that second quarter. So you got to keep feeding number 7 because he's the guy that really got them going in that first quarter.
Yeah, they slowed down once they stopped giving it to Ryan on 1st down. Here they're going to give it to him behind right guard. He is hammered in the backfield. Justice Betts, like a missile, drops him in the backfield, a loss of 2.
That's why he was the finalist for the defensive player for Class 4A last season. Just unblocked, well-read, and like you said, like a rocket. And he laid a hit on Ryan, and he's going to feel that one tomorrow, Tim.
That was violent from the leading tackler.
And he got up and flexed, too. I mean, he got lucky he didn't get a 15-yarder for that, but wow, talk about sending a statement.
Averaging 11 tackles a game, 2nd and 12. They pitch to Ryan running right side, cuts it up near the hash, reversing field at the 40, far side 45, midfield, Ryan dancing around one, all the way out near the Miege 41-yard line.
How about the patience from this Rockers coaching staff? Okay, you blew us up once, but we've run the ball very effectively all night long. Give it back to number 7, your senior leader, and he does a tremendous job of seeing the hole, cutting back to the left, and getting big yardage.
Ryan has got Rockhurst cooking again inside Miege territory. That got this crowd up off their feet for the first time in this third quarter. And they never reset the play clock, and now they do. There have been a couple of play clock issues in this game. I don't want to say that too loud. They're in the booth directly to our left. One left, one right, new set of downs. Coppinger breaks a tackle, and he is going to get dropped at the line of scrimmage. A great push by this D-line.
Yeah, to be honest, Baker North almost took the handoff, the nose tackle. He was right back there at the snap, and as Hansen handed the ball off to Coppinger, number 74, big 6'3", 310-pound Baker North almost took the handoff from the quarterback.
Again, the last 3 offensive drives for Rockhurst have gone interception, punt, missed field goal, missed field goal. I guess 4 possessions now. Empty on the last 4. This possession number 5 in a 2nd and 10 play. This Miege defense playing a lot better. Hansen, play fake, bootleg left, fires for Coppinger out in the flat, sheds 1, sheds 2, lowers the shoulder, has a first down as he is leaving bodies all over the turf out to the 26-yard line.
That looked like, Mike Allstott out there. I know that predates you, Tim. Okay. Us old guys over here remember Mike Allstott and the way that he just would do that same thing out of the backfield, catching the football in the NFL. And boy, get out of my way. And Tommy Coppinger shows, again, why he will be playing next year on Saturdays.
There's a pile of carnage right in front of that Miege sideline. New set of downs from the Miege 26-yard line. Hansen sends a man in motion, pitches to Ryan running right side, cuts it back up as he lowers the shoulder out to the 23-yard line. Call that a gain of 3.
Yeah, we've been around some exciting players this season. We obviously saw the number 1 recruit in the country, William Waneri, the Missouri commitment. Andrew Sprague's here, but for my money, Tommy Coppinger's been the most fun to watch out of the guys this season. Just from a get out of my way, cause a car wreck type of impression. He's fun to watch. He does a lot of the little things that you want from a next level player.
2nd and 7, 3 right, 1 left. Aiden Ryan motions out of the backfield. Hansen, design quarterback's draw. He's across the 20 as he's tripped up from behind, but he falls forward to the 17, about a half-yard shy, it would appear, of the first down.
Well, I tell you what, if Grant Kellerman doesn't get him by the ankles, Ethan Hansen's into the end zone with a touchdown. So very, very fortunate for the Stags. But now this sets up a 3rd and 1. You've not looked good on this drive. Your offense responded and came through in 3rd and 4th down. Can you now as a defense make it happen, or will Rockhurst continue to do what Rockhurst does?
3rd and a yard, 3.5 to go in this 3rd quarter. Hansen gives to Ryan. No, he keeps it on the option inside the 15, dancing around 1 to 10, inside the end zone. Ethan Hansen on the read option, scoots around the right edge, and he adds another onto this Rockhurst lead.
We saw a great play call by John Holmes' staff to get into the end zone. We saw another great call by Kelly Donahoe's offensive staff. The read option, everybody thinks on 3rd and 1 it's going to go to number 7 because it's gone to number 7 all night long. He pulls it, and Hansen scoots around the right side, well blocked on the perimeter, and he gets into the end zone, and Rockhurst takes the stranglehold back on this game.
A 17-yard touchdown run from Ethan Hansen, his 3rd touchdown run of the year. And the extra point is up and through. 21-7, Rockhurst with a giant answer on their first drive of this 3rd quarter on Sports Radio 810.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
(21-7). Rockhurst with a big answer of their own. Ethan Hansen scoots 17 yards to put Rockhurst back up 2 touchdowns. By the way, an update from Mill Valley. Gardner Edgerton is pouring it on. 42-3 now in the 3rd quarter. Ensuing kickoff is going to be taken by Jackson near the 4-yard line. Angling near side, picking up a block across the 20. Cutting back near the 25. spinning through a couple of tackles, and finally near the 29, he's going to be ruled down.
All right, Tim, you know, we talked about how Bishop Miege just never scored, you know, how long you had to go back and look to find when Bishop Miege had not scored in the first half. For the life of me, I cannot remember a lopsided game like this that Mill Valley's been involved in. And this is their homecoming game, too. This is a game that everybody in that community in Western Shawnee's been looking forward to for weeks now.
Yeah,
Yikes.
This is going to be a wake-up call for Joel Appleby's club. But he also feeds off of having the opportunity to bounce back. Remember what he did after their lone loss last year. The pitch to Garcia on first down, patient running, but nowhere to go as he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
No, you're right. Yeah, they rallied to win. Oh, yeah, ho-hum, another state championship. But that's something that that loss was shocking in just the that it happened. This one is shocking in the way that it is happening.
Yeah. An injury timeout as a Rockhurst player is dealing with some cramps. But that score obviously is jaw-dropping, and a couple other shocking scores in the area. We were talking about Lee Summit North and Blue Valley Northwest. Remember, they were tied at halftime 7-7. And right now, Lee Summit North back in full control. Up 27-7, a giant third quarter from the Broncos blowing that open. How about Lee Summit West? Into the second half, they've got a 2-score lead over Lee Summit. They're looking to move to 5-0. St. Thomas Aquinas in a tight one. Blue Valley West, a 21-7 leader over Staley. We'll get you more scores as the night rolls on. 2:55 to go in this third quarter after the injury timeout. 2nd and 10 for Miege rather. Rodriguez from the gun, setting up, stepping up in the pocket. Now he's going to fire one over the middle low and incomplete.
Man.
Looking for Moeller.
Yeah.
That's one that maybe a takeoff.
Yeah, no, you're right, because he had 10 yards ahead of him where he could have scooted and easily had gotten the first down, and here you are now. It's 3rd and long again.
You got to have it if you're John Holmes. You can only ask your defense to come up with so many stops tonight. An offense that has scored 51 points a game through the first 3 games, being held to 7 right now on the road. And down 2 scores. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Rodriguez from the gun. Stepping up in the pocket again. Rolling for his life. Out to the left, now back to the right. Fires back near sideline. He's got Moore in midfield. Breaking one tackle. Lowers the shoulder. Dives out to the 46 of Rockhurst. What a play from Rodriguez.
That is just tremendous. Elusiveness, escapability, and then vision. And then, oh yeah, the arm strength to throw it across the field from one hash to another to Moeller, who was wide open to get the first down. That's about as good as you're going to find from a high school football player, Tim.
New set of downs from the Rockhurst 46. They pitch to Garcia near side, cutting back across the 40. Swims a one at the 35, and he's dropped from behind near the 33. Move the chains again.
Now we're starting to see Garcia be able to get some of that open field, and it's not when they run it up the middle. They keep trying to run it up the middle, and those don't work, but it's the cutbacks, it's the tosses to the outside that have been working here in the second half, and it's amazing. You get one big play, it turns into 2 big plays. That's how this Stag offense goes.
1:54 to go, third quarter. New set of downs for Miege. Garcia straight up the middle. This time, no running room as he tries to turn his feet to the 30.
It's just not there up the middle, Tim. It is not there. It's when they go to the outside. It's when they do the cutbacks. It's when they do the traps. It's when they do the tosses. Those work, not just running up the middle.
They give him a yard. Inside 90 seconds to go in this third quarter. A 21-7 Rockhurst lead in the Catholic Clash with Miege on the move. Rodriguez taking his time. Through to the right, one to the left. Shotgun snap back. Looking right the whole way. Now he's going to scramble. In trouble. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. He swims out near the 26-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd and about 4 play.
Yeah, the Rockhurst crowd screaming for the hold on the perimeter by Dominic Warner, but I looked good to me. It looked like they did a nice job of blocking. It's just frustration because Rodriguez has got that elusiveness and escapability in that pocket. He's been able to extend plays time after time after time tonight.
3rd and 4 for the Stags from the 26 of Rockhurst. Snap back. Rodriguez, all the time in the world, fires one right side, diving, hauling it in at the 14-yard line. What a catch by Cole Wofford to move the sticks.
Yeah, but again, what a throw by Rodriguez because he had to be patient and find the open receiver, and then he had to put enough oomph on it to get it there. And Cole Wofford did a nice job coming back to the ball, too, and helping his quarterback out.
1st and 10 from the Rockhurst 14, 15 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Rodriguez checks the play clock. He doesn't have to snap it if he doesn't want to, but he will. Looking right, pumping, rolling right, firing for the sideline out of play as he ends up on the ground. Aiden Ryan was the one that caught him at the end of that one, and it will fall incomplete at the end of the 3rd quarter. Rockhurst still up 2 scores. However, the Bishop Miege offense, they're alive and well. They are inside the red zone, threatening to make it a 1-score game again on Sports Radio 810.
Biscuits and taquitos and breakfast on a bun. Those are just a few of the things you can make a part of your morning routine at Whataburger. Then again, with so many choices, you could make a routine of not having a routine. But would not having a routine still be a routine? Chew on that for a while. Whataburger breakfast, just like you like it.
Still up 2 scores at home in the Catholic Clash, but their defense is starting to get gouged a little bit. Miege back inside the red zone, knocking on the door, Jeremy.
A lot of positive signs from Marco Rodriguez here on this drive, just doing a lot of little things. That escapability is impressive.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 from the Rockhurst 14 to start this 4th quarter. I am Tim Spurl. He is Jeremy Crabtree up on 3. And Miege trying to formulate a comeback. But they need to pay off this drive. Rodriguez, snap back, pitch to Garcia. He wants to throw, has his man all alone in the end zone, and Miege adds another one. Peter Gibson was unguarded, all alone in the end zone.
Rockhurst trick play didn't work. Bishop Miege's trick play dialed up at the perfect time, right situation, executed perfectly, touchdown, Stags, and game on.
Well, I would say John Holmes in this 2nd half is in his bag offensively. These 2 drives have been picture perfect for Bishop Miege, and the extra point makes it a 7-point game once again with a full 4th quarter to go on Sports Radio 810.
Sports.
And if you left Miege for dead, well,
Yeah.
That's on you. You must not be familiar with John Holmes. His team is right back in it. But now the attention goes back to Rockhurst. And, Jeremy, they've only touched it once in the second half, but it was a picture-perfect Rockhurst drive. They kept the ball on the ground. They were very efficient. They went and got 6.
No, they also responded after getting punched in the mouth on a big sack. So just, I mean, got to credit these coaching staffs. They've made adjustments, and the offenses on both teams have kind of started to figure some things out here in this second half.
Aiden Ryan and Micah Oder back deep to field this kick. But Miege has kicked it short each time this unit has been out there. A high kick towards the sideline, fielded by Oder, dropped, picked up at the 15. Ooh. He is hammered at the 17-yard line. Great coverage by the Stags. Baird was the first one to him on the kick coverage unit.
I tell you what, that was dangerous because Oder fumbled the ball and it just kind of hung there on the ground, and very lucky that he was able to pick that up. And by the time he did pick it up, there was 2 white shirts in his face, and there you go. Maybe that's a spark this Stags defense needs to do to slow down this Hawkwood offense, because they were humming.
Worst starting field position of the night for Rockhurst offensively. They officially mark him at the 18-yard line. Hansen turns, gives to Ryan. Behind left guard, he picks up about 4 to the 22.
That's been their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Bread and butter all night long has just being able to run effectively behind that left side of the offensive line. Why not when you're able to hand it off and run behind Andrew Sprague, the 4-star offensive tackle, Michigan offensive tackle commitment. You know, Jack Manning, 6'3", 260. There's plenty of size on this Hawkwood offensive line. Charlie Gormanson, 6'4", 220. I mean, there's some good size up front. Run behind him.
3 right, 1 left. Hansen under center, gives to Ryan again, straight up the middle. Big hole, 30, 35, 40. Ryan across midfield into Miege territory all the way down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Jack Manning, Charlie Gormanson, and Trey Goodell. Huge hole. I mean, it was like the white jerseys got out of the way because they were being blocked so well up the middle. And Aiden Ryan just had smooth sailing all the way into the Stags secondary and flipped the field in just a couple of plays here, Tim.
A 36-yard carry for Aiden Ryan. And he had a big carry on that last drive to sort of flip the field and put Rockhurst on the plus side of midfield. Hansen, design quarterback draw. Across the 35, stutter step near the 30, near sideline, pushed out near the 29. Move the chains again as Rockhurst not skipping a beat, doing what they do best, keeping it on the ground and letting their offensive line go to work.
Yeah, let those big guys just take control of the game, run the clock. I mean, at this point, I'm making sure if you're going to pass, it needs to be a smart pass because you don't want to stop that clock.
Yeah, I don't see Rockhurst doing anything other maybe than a play action rollout. Here they're going to give to Coppinger straight up the middle. Excuse me, not Coppinger, but rather the other fullback in this offense, Gus Sorensen, who falls forward across the 25 to the 23.
Yeah, Coppinger got banged up a little bit a couple of drives ago. I think maybe it's one of those situations where you need him on defense. He's over here on the sideline. He's fine. But you need him on defense, especially with the way that Miege has been moving the football here. Give him a little bit of break.
2nd and 4 for Rockhurst. Hansen climbs in under center. Turns, gives to Ryan, straight up the middle. This time nowhere to go as he's wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. Sets up a giant 3rd and 4 with 9:45 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, weak side linebacker Connor Neenan knifes through there, unblocked, and did a nice job of setting up this 3rd and intermediate type situation. But, you know, I'm Rockhurst. I'm still letting number 7 be involved in this somehow, some way.
9:25, 21-14, Rockhurst leads in this 4th quarter. 3rd and 4 from the Miege 22-yard line. Hansen under center, Ryan the deep back. They're going to pitch to him, running left side, cutting back near the numbers, stood up, falls forward near the 19, about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, but still it's short enough where you certainly go for it, in my opinion, especially when you run number 40, Tommy Coppinger, back onto the field here on this 4th and short situation. Well, maybe they're going to measure now here because maybe a little closer than we thought.
Yeah, ball sits at the 19. First down marker is split between the 18 and the 19. From the naked eye, it looks a little short. Yeah, they will bring the sticks all the way across the field and measure here, but assuming it's a 4th down, again, Tommy Coppinger is out there, and you'd be hard-pressed to think that it's going anywhere other than the 6'4", 220-pound fullback.
You know, that or you let him lead the way on a block.
Sticks out there. They stretch it out, and it is short. Wow. By a full yard.
Yeah, no, I naked eye, it sure looked like it was not close.
Honestly, that makes me more concerned about the officials' vision than mine.
We're a long way away, too.
You needed a measurement for that? Yeah, he'll never know. He's not going to listen back to
Folks, I did not say that. That was not Jeremy Krebs.
I'm just saying, that was a full yard. What are we looking at here? So they will spot it back on the hash of the 19. And Rockhurst is going to need about a full yard. And again, Tommy Coppinger in that huddle. Rockhurst did have a 4th and 1 back in the first half, but they just let Coppinger go to work. He's the fullback in the I formation. You hear the Miege crowd across the way urging their defense for a stop in this 4th quarter, down a touchdown. 9:08 to go. Hansen climbs in under center. Pitches to Ryan left side. He's got the first down, barely. Boy, it's going to depend on the spot as he got roped down near the 18.
Stags seem to think that they stopped him short.
Boy, it's going to depend on the spot, but they spun him around to the 18, and I thought he got it. Boy, they're going to have to measure this again. Maybe it is tighter than I thought. They haven't motioned. They are going to motion for the sticks. So, boy, this is going to be as dramatic as you could ride up here.
It's a lot closer to the yard this time. Let's just be honest.
Because, again, when they threw him forward, it just looked like they were going to give him that spot, but they were not forgiving with that spot. And,
boy,
the Rockhurst sideline is going to tell us what just happened. We're going to be blocked by them. They're either going to explode or they're not going to react at all. They are going to be short. Miege comes up with a stop. Wow. The Stags are in business with 9:04 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I think it's Connor Needon again, the weak side linebacker, for 2 plays in a row, knifed through there and made the tackle to stop this.
Oh, my.
I mean, they're still tinkering with the measurement, though, Tim.
I mean, you hear the Miege crowd across the way. They're celebrating. That Miege sideline exploded. And I think
what's going on here? I mean, they're still down measuring.
I mean, he's definitely short. We're looking at it now.
Okay, all right, now there you go.
And they finally signal Miege football. Wow.
It was almost like was there a link missing or something? Something was not right.
Miege football from their own 18-yard line with 9:04 to go in the 4th quarter. Down 21-14. This is the 3rd possession of the second half for Miege. Touchdowns on the first 2 possessions. Here we go.
Well, we knew this was going to be a fun one.
This is Rockhurst Miege. Again, you said it. In the 5 meetings since 2018, 9 points separate these 2 teams. Last year, a 28-21 victory for Miege. A goal line stand won it for the Stags in the closing seconds. But Miege still down a touchdown as they take over. Garcia running left side. He falls forward out near the 24-yard line. Good pickup on first down.
Again, yes, running to the outside, running at angles. Letting Garcia utilize his acceleration has worked here in the second half versus going straight at the teeth of this Rockhurst defense.
Garcia, the call again, splits 2 defenders, but doesn't have a lot of room.
Again,
as they're going to mark him down after a gain of 1.5 yards.
Yeah, I don't understand the running right at the teeth of this defense. It's just not worked all night long. Now third and long, yeah, 3rd and 3.
John Holmes is a gambler, but I don't know if he would go for a 4th and 3 near his own 25-yard line. And there's still 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this game. 3 receivers to the left side. Rodriguez, shotgun snap, wants to set up the screen, pumps, fires over the middle, high and incomplete. Through the hands of Cole Wofford. And the punt unit will come on, a 3-and-out for Miege.
I tell you what, John Holmes claps his hands in frustration because Rodriguez should have thrown it underneath to Taron Jackson immediately because he was wide open. Excuse me, not underneath, but in the flat. He was wide open from the snap, and he would have been able to walk to a first down. Instead, Rodriguez, flustered, inexperienced a little bit, waits, and then tries to make a difficult pass across the middle.
End over end punt is going to be caught by Tunley at the 36. Shakes one tackle, shakes another at the 40. Far side spinning near the 45. Trying to reverse field. A flag flies in as he's finally tackled at the 46-yard line. But there is a flag down. Another late flag comes after the skirmish with those players getting up off the tackle. So we could have a personal foul tacked on here as well.
Interesting to see what happens here because, field position is paramount here right now. And Rockhurst got really good field position after the change of possession.
Back to that 3rd down play real quick. It was drawn up as a screen, but they also ran a receiver over the middle. And I think it's to bait the defense into the screen, but I think you have the option to still throw the screen because Rockhurst had that blanketed. But I think Rodriguez was determined to go back to that read over the middle. And like you said, if they go to the screen there, they probably move the chains.
Yeah. It's one of those things, just inexperience, learning, a teaching moment. They're going to look at that on film tomorrow with Rodriguez, and they're going to be able to say, take what you can get here. You need to get the first down. We don't have to go for the big play right there. Get the first down, which was the most important thing they could have done there.
So there's going to be a block in the back against Rockhurst on the return and a personal foul against Rockhurst. It's obviously
somebody in the stands does not like that call.
Yeah, you heard that. Could have been worse. So a 15-yard penalty on the personal foul is going to go against the Hawklets. And so that is going to mark Rockhurst. Can you do that? So a block in the back. They marked him back at the 15. So they assessed 2 penalties.
Well, was it a dead ball?
Yeah.
I mean, that it had to be a dead ball, right?
A block in the back during the return. And then the personal foul came when the players were getting up off the pile. So, yeah, I guess.
I mean, that could be the only way.
Wow.
That's
a field flipper.
That's like a crazy good punt.
Because the return, was out to the 43. But now instead of Rockhurst sitting at their own 43, they're backed up at their 15-yard line. Wow.
Well, if you're Rockhurst, you need to go back to what's worked all night long and continue to pound it with Coppinger and Ryan. Set up the play action pass.
7:45 to go, 4th quarter. Ethan Hansen designed quarterback draw, hammered. There he is again. Justice Betts all over the place, making another stick.
He was ready for that. He took one step to the left and then shot straight up the field into the number 2 jersey of Ethan Hansen, and Hansen went down right away. Just what a nice open field tackle. And what you expect from your senior middle linebacker, who does have a William Woods offer, is also being recruited by Northern Iowa and some other smaller FBS schools.
Hansen Fakes the pitch, bootlegs right, setting up, fires back across his body, incomplete, threw it behind his receiver, and if that's on the money, it's a first down.
Yep, and it's also dangerous because it's not on the money, Tim, because he, like you said, threw across his body, and number 25, Justice Best, was right there, almost in position to intercept that. So
3rd and 11.
And how about that, though? And most importantly, the incompletion stops the clock and helping Bishop Miege out. So suddenly now this becomes a very, very critical must-convert situation.
And they're still in the huddle. Play clock is inside 9. And now they're hurried up here. Hansen tucks in under center. Play clock at 3. Play clock at 2. Just gets it off. Wants to go to the air. Fader out near side. Incomplete. He was looking for Bickelmeyer. And now the flag flies from the side judge. And Bickelmeyer gets up in the face of Lamar Lynch and lets him know about it.
I'm fascinated. We've seen 2 pass interference calls, Tim, and both of them have been called by the side judges, not the guys back in coverage where it's a
that have the angle
5 feet from.
Right.
Instead, they both times, and they've been called on the sideline of the coaching staff both times. One happened right in front of John Holmes, and that one called right again in front of Kelly Donahoe. So I'm not saying influenced at all by the calls, but just fascinating. Twice we've seen DPIs called, and both times the back judge was right there to make the call and didn't make the call, and it's the side judges that have tossed the penalties both times.
Both times on 3rd down, too.
Exactly.
New set of downs from the 29. Screen pass near side Bickelmeyer. Got to do some work. Flag flies as he's drugged down at the line of scrimmage, but this one in the area of holding.
Yes, that screen pass was blown up from the beginning. Good job there by this defensive backfield. Yeah, Devin Davis, the defensive tackle, actually getting out in space, blowing the play up.
How about the crowds tonight, by the way? It is a hold against Rockhurst. This crowd is unreal.
This is what high school football is all supposed to be about, Tim. It's just outstanding. Both crowds into it. Both student sections are into it. I mean, is there might not be a better student section in Kansas City football than Rockhurst. Their students are into it every single game, and this place is loud when it needs to be loud.
1st and 20. 3 right, 1 left. Hansen play fake. Rolling right on the snap. Has time. Fires to the sideline. Carson coming back to the football. Has got it. And he shoved it out to the 35. They pick up 15 on 1st and 20.
How about that? Showing some confidence in your quarterback. 1st and long. And normally that you're trying to burn some clock. You run the football there to get a big, keep that clock going. Instead, you show confidence in Ethan Hansen that he's going to roll out and show some patience and find the receiver who's coming back to the football and then throw it accurately, and he did exactly that. The only one thing negative about that is he stepped out of bounds to stop the clock, but well executed otherwise.
6:32 to go in this 4th quarter, and Kelly Donahoe burns a timeout. That was maybe the best pass, second best pass of the night.
Yeah.
For Ethan Hansen.
Yeah, that 1-10 lead was pretty special early on in the first half. But, that just shows the confidence that they have in your senior quarterback, because last year, I don't know if they make that play call, Tim. Last year, they run the ball, keep the clock going, and then we're behind the chains. We probably have to punt it. This time, you show confidence in your senior quarterback that he's going to roll out, set his feet, throw the football to where only his guy can get it and execute it well, and that worked well. And so now it's 2nd and 5 instead of maybe 2nd and 15 or something like that.
By the way, Gardner Edgerton, that one nearing the finish line up 49-10 now. Blue Valley West up 21-7 over Staley. St. Thomas Aquinas remains undefeated with a 21-6 win over St. James. How about this? Blue Valley Southwest sending a message to the rest of 5A.
Yeah, they're for real.
63 to, 15 or 14. Either way, they are steamrolling Spring Hill.
Well, let's just put it this way. The Mill Valley game is so lopsided that the Mill Valley Twitter account has stopped updating the score.
2nd and 5 out of the timeout. Pitch to Aiden Ryan running left side. Met at the line of scrimmage. He tries to keep the feet moving. Maybe picked up a half yard, but here comes a giant. third down in this ball game. 6:17 and rolling in this fourth quarter.
I give Ethan Hansen a run pass option here on this play. Let him be in a spot where he can pull it if he has to pull it and run for the first down. Or if you're going to make a pass, make sure it's a safe pass, but give him the run pass option here because this is right in his wheelhouse, and he's made a lot of these easy calls. They've made a lot of these easy calls on this, and he's been converted all night long.
Here we go. 3rd and 4 from their own 35-yard line. Hansen, shotgun snap, gives to Ryan, straight up the middle, lowering the shoulder, and it is going to be close again as he falls forward right to the 39.
Go back to your star running back, and he dove. This is going to be close, Tim.
It looks like he's got it, and he does. And now the clock becomes the center of attention.
Well, and keep in mind, Miege burned 2 timeouts early on in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So the clock is certainly the enemy for the Stags right now.
Yeah, so I didn't even think of that. So this set of downs might be the ball game essentially. Play clock is all the way down. Hansen is not going to get it off. Kelly Dono's got to take a timeout to bail him out again.
Play was slow to get in. It kind of meandered around in the huddle a little bit, and that's okay. That's a veteran coach right there, making sure that if you're gonna not get in a bad situation, because sometimes you hurry to the line of scrimmage and you hurry so much that you make a mistake, the ball comes loose and something like that. Instead, you go ahead and call a timeout and ensure that you're not going to screw up here on this play.
Rockhurst hits the road at Aquinas next week. That'll be another test for the Hawklets. Miege, meanwhile, back at home against Blue Valley. Again, this is a big game in the regular season for both of these teams.
Yeah, this schedule does not get easier for either one of these teams.
Right. So out of the timeout, both teams only have 1 timeout remaining, by the way. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. 5:11 to go in the contest in a 1-score game. Hansen, play fake, is going to keep it on the read option, angling for the sideline. He is going to stay in, tiptoe the sideline, and jump out near midfield. They mark him out at the 48.
That's the play I thought they were going to call on that 3rd down back. Instead, give it to Ryan, and he converts, but Ethan Hansen just so elusive with the football in his hands, and everybody's gravitating toward Aiden Ryan, and rightfully so, because he's been so effective all night long. So that's what I kind of expected on the play, was them to pull that.
2nd and 2, 5:04 to go. Clock is stopped after Ethan Hansen ran out of bounds. 21-14, Rockhurst leads deep in this 4th quarter with the football. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Hansen under center, turns, gives to Ryan, straight up the gut. He's got a first down as he's across midfield to the Miege 48-yard line.
Yeah, so you get the first down. Essentially, you manage a clock, you can at least take 2 more minutes off, at least. So it's getting do or die time here for the Stags.
And this might be the set of downs right here. Again, you've only got 1 timeout. 4:45 and rolling. You've got to get something if you're Bishop Miege defensively. Ryan the deep back. Hansen gives to his tailback, Sorensen, who charges forward all the way out near the 40-yard line. A gain of almost 9 on 1st and 10.
Nice little explosion through there.
And this is Rockhurst football. Punishing, they're going to run it down your throat.
And we have a final for Mill Valley, 49-10, Gardner Edgerton. Talk about making a statement.
Yeah. Gardner Edgerton might be the class of Kansas.
Well, and yeah, I mean.
2nd and a yard. Ryan, the pitch play, lowering the shoulder. He is met at the 39. And he might be short of the first down. I'm not sure that you don't give him that first down if you're Miege. It stays 3rd and a yard, but we're inside 3.5 minutes. I mean, I know it seems odd to insinuate maybe you give him the first down, but you're giving Rockhurst 2 knocks at it with a yard to go. I don't know that you like your chances all that much. Remember, you can only stop it one more time. Coppinger motions into the backfield. Hanson, quarterback sneak. He's got a first down. He nearly had 6.
Well,
he was tripped up.
That was a weird quarterback sneak because it looked like the ball kind of fumbled right initially because it looked like he kind of mishandled it, but he did shot through. I think no one was expecting the sneak. Everybody's expecting either Coppinger or Ryan to get the ball. And Hanson showed some explosiveness, but most importantly, he held on to the football.
He came up limping a bit after that tackle.
I bet he'll be fine if they were able to hang on to this win.
1st and 10 from the Miege 32-yard line, 2:40 to go. Under center, he gives to Aiden Ryan straight up the middle. This time, nowhere to go. Plugged up at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Clock rolling, 2.5 to play again. John Holmes can only stop it one more time. And now, a Miege D lineman is hobbled, and he falls to his knees near the 30, and that's met with some displeasure. But, boy, he came out. He's trying to get off under his own power.
That's Jalen Wilson, who's played outstanding on both sides of the ball tonight on the offense and defensive line. He actually made the tackle there.
The Rockhurst crowd didn't like it, but Wilson wasn't trying
to
stop.
No. That's not the – we've seen that in college football where guy takes 3 feet, 3 steps, and the coaches are waving at him to fall down. Now there's none of that going on here.
So it stops the clock with 2:26. The Rockhurst student section didn't like it either, and they're letting them know about it.
Yeah, the clock actually did not run at all on the restart and got down to 15 on the play clock before the side judge recognized that.
And now the head official gives the ready for play. They start it. Now inside 2:20 and rolling. 2nd and 10. Hanson draws Miege offsides with a hard count. And that's going to make this a lot easier for Rockhurst.
Yeah. Yep. Baker North, who's had a very good game tonight, just jumped off sides on the hard count. Good job by, that's a heady play by your senior quarterback.
And the nose tackle right over the football is the man that jumps.
Yeah. Most importantly, that clock is ticking away.
It's do or die for the Stags defense right here. 2nd and 5 after the penalty. Hanson will keep it running left side forward to the 21, and he should have the first down, and that would ice this game.
John Holmes takes his indicated he wanted his last time out. Yeah, it took the side judge about another 5 seconds to call the timeout. But yeah, it's for as good as Rockhurst looked in the first half. They've struggled here in the second half offensively, but Tim, they made the key plays when it mattered most. They came through and converted that touchdown in the 3rd quarter. They made key stops on the defensive side of the ball. Just all the little things that needed to be done to secure a victory over your rival, they've done here tonight.
This was a gut check for Rockhurst. But all of a sudden, it seems like Rockhurst is back in a groove. Again, they got thumped by Liberty North back in week 3, 35-7. but a giant bounce-back victory last week against Bentonville. And then here, they withstood a late surge from Bishop Miege, and Rockhurst is a minute 50 away from starting 4-1 for the first time in the Kelly Donahoe era. Hansen will fall to a knee. John Holmes cannot stop that clock.
Well, and if you're Bishop Miege, you're frustrated that you did not play well at all in a big you're against your big rival like that. You know, you got to tip your hat. A lot of the credit had to be from what Rockhurst did in that first half. But you had missed opportunities. You left points on the board from a field goal. You didn't get your running game going. Your defense, who's played well all season long, missed some key opportunities to stop Rockhurst. So if you're John Holmes, you're frustrated that you kind of let one get away, but then you're only, to be honest, still only lost by 7 points and played probably a C-plus type of game.
Yeah, John Holmes is going to fail to solve the Rockhurst puzzle for the fourth time in 6 meetings. He is going to fall to 3-1 on the year. But again, back at home next week against Blue Valley. And then it's a tough stretch at St. Thomas Aquinas, at Blue Valley West, at Blue Valley Northwest to end the regular season. So this Miege win-loss record could be a wild story before we hit the playoffs, but they earned their first loss here against Rockhurst on the road, 21-14. But they charged back in the second half. Yeah. That offense did look a lot better. But for the Rockhurst Hawklets, Jeremy, I think they were the real story tonight. Now 4-1, and they've won 2 in a row after the loss in week 3 against Liberty North. And they're all of a sudden starting to round into form.
Yeah, they are. And again, just like what you mentioned with BH, things don't get a lot easier. I mean, that if you thought this week's battle was going to be, mean a lot in the Catholic community, how about next week's battle against St. Thomas Aquinas on the road for Rockhurst? So that's going to be an appealing game to check out. But it doesn't get any easier. Blue Springs, and you got SLU back here to close out the regular season schedule. So this is a tough stretch. But I think we've seen pretty clearly that Rockhurst is battle tested, and Kelly Donahoe's got them going in the right direction, and going the right direction for maybe the first time in a long time. I mean, they've shown flashes, but maybe never proven that they can get over the hump like this. So I think it's safe to say that Rockhurst is back.
Again, that will be a tough test against St. Thomas Aquinas next week. A offense that is the polar opposite of Miege, obviously. Yeah. A team that is going to run it right at you just like Rockhurst does. But a defense, by the way, that is led by Missouri commit Juju Marks. And that is a special talent as well. That is a tough defensive line.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to see. Can this Rockhurst offense run effectively against that defense? But sure enough, I like what we saw. We saw Ethan Hansen make some key plays tonight in the passing game. Made that conversion when he ran and threw it on third down to get the key conversion was tremendous. And for my money, I'm still a big Tommy Coppinger fan. That kid can play, and he's going to be fun to watch the rest of this season.
Again, Rockhurst tightens the screws late in this one. A 21-14 win in the Catholic Clash as they hold off Miege by a touchdown. A touchdown pass from Ethan Hansen to go along with a touchdown run. Tommy Coppinger also carried in a 9-yard touchdown score. And for the Stags tonight, a touchdown pass from Marco Rodriguez and a touchdown pass as well from David Garcia. But again, in a losing effort, a late charge from the Stags, but they are back to the drawing board at 3-1. And the Hawklets move to 4-1. A big matchup next week for Rockhurst as they take on Aquinas on the road. For Jeremy Crabtree, Jonathan Pulasic, I am Tim Spurl. Thank you for joining us from Rockhurst this evening. Rockhurst, winners of the Catholic Clash once again. We will see you in a week on Sports Radio 810.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End All Alzheimer's, walking means so much more. It means fighting for a different future, for families facing the disease today,
Sounds
for
good.
treatments. Because when you take part in a Walk to End Alzheimer's, you're not just walking, you're fighting to stop the disease. We're closer than ever, but to get there, we need you. Join us for the world's largest fundraiser,